So one of the most common ways that we all know and love is to interact with cloud-based or SaaS-based tools. As an example, things like ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever your favorite tool is to perform use cases day in, day out. However, that's not the only way that we can interact with AI. We're seeing more and more of an emergence of endpoint-based capabilities. So whether this is on our desktops, workstations, or servers within our organizations, we can also start to build out AI-based capabilities on these assets as well. As an example, we've got the concept of AI PCs coming out from Microsoft, which is getting more and more popular. And the reason is, if we can do the computations and keep the data on these devices locally, it's faster because we're not having to send it off to some server in a faraway data center somewhere, and also it's more secure because we're keeping it on these private assets here. So as an example, if we make a request to one of these local applications and we say, hey, I want you to generate me a picture of a cat. If we get what we want and if everything works as expected, we're going to output a lovely picture of a cat there. However, as with everything in the world of cybersecurity, it doesn't always go to plan. So we may have a case where our machines get infected with malware, and when we make this request, instead of getting what we wanted, we get something else. Perhaps it's a picture of a butterfly, which is not what we asked for. So we need to make sure that we put proper protection in place on these assets to scan all the things that are happening on here. And when we get this request, or when we make this request, we can stop any nefarious activity from happening, and we can stay and ensure that we get what we wanted. So this is obviously a simplistic use case, but if you think of it, maybe the goal is to execute a valid business process and stop any malicious or nefarious activity from happening. We need to make sure that our antivirus solutions, our endpoint protection solutions, are not only scanning for traditional things like files and memory, but also this new emerging attack surface around AI to make sure that we reduce our risk and improve our security moving forward.